So in this video, I wanted to get this out kind of quick. That's why I'm not worried about like my background or anything. So this is about what I've discovered about what the tide does at the Columbia River Crossing, the bar at Buoy 10, and going out into the ocean. It was kind of eye-opening for me because, well, as some of you know, I had a kind of a harrowing experience going out on the second day. It just wasn't what I expected, and learned a lot. Bar crossing is not to be taken lightly. It's not for the faint of heart. And so I hope you guys learned something from this. I certainly did. I'm going to ask for that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. I'm sorry. Smash that subscribe button. It's on that side. And, you know, just be careful out there. Anyway, tight lines, see you on the water. So this is an animation from deepzone.com, and it does an animation. You can plot a route, and I've shown that on another video, but this is a video on what the tides are doing at the Columbia Crossing versus what the graph shows what the water is actually doing. This is like so new to me that I had no idea about when the water actually changes direction per what the graph is doing. So I'm going to start this animation, and I think some of you are probably going to be scratching your head going, wow, I never knew. Some of you are going to be going, oh, duh, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to start this animation. Pay attention to the yellow and green arrows. So right now it's outgoing. And usually, typically, when it gets to the bottom here is when we figure the direction change happens, but it really doesn't happen until further on the incoming side of the graph. And so I'm going to show this again, and you can see at the very bottom, you know, it's like at about 9:44 is the bottom of slack. And further up the graph, and you can see the water is still outgoing. It isn't until about an hour into the incoming that the actual slack actually happens. And so this was kind of surprising to me because it kind of, the rule of 12 just goes out the window for me per what Deep Zone is showing what is actually happening at the Columbia Crossing. Now this is up at Longview, and you could see that it's acting different the further upriver you go. And so you can see the little green yellow arrow there, you know, at the last place where it actually shows water movement, and Kelso is like the other tide station, and it doesn't show any movement. It just shows a yellow-green number. So I don't know if that represents that water's not moving there, how tidal that water is. And so you could see that the actual slack happens in the middle of the swing, which I would think would happen at the top or the bottom of the graph. And so that is pretty surprising to me, because now I'm curious as to what the water is doing and when on a graph. When we go to our apps, I use Tides USA to see what, oh, you know, what's the water doing. So now I'm really going to pay attention to what the water movement is right where I'm at compared to what I'm looking at my graph. I hope this helps someone. If someone can give me clarity on what they know about this, please leave some comments. I'd really love to hear from you. Thank you. Give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if this was helpful, and see you on the water tight lines.